The rain poured down as I stood outside the iron gates. My clothes were soaked. My hands shook. Not from cold. From fear. Behind those gates lived Nikolai Volkov, the most dangerous man in Chicago. The man who controlled everything illegal in the city. The man whose name made grown adults whisper. I was 12 years old. Alone. Desperate. And about to do the most insane thing imaginable. I rang the bell. Security cameras turned toward me. A voice crackled through the speaker. Go away, kid. This isn't a place for children. I didn't move. Just stared at the camera. I need to speak to Mr. Volkov. Please. It's about my brother. Silence. Then the gates opened. What I didn't know was that walking through those gates would save my brother's life, expose a conspiracy that reached the highest levels of power, and prove that sometimes the most dangerous people are capable of the most unexpected mercy. Before we begin, subscribe to this channel if stories about courage, unexpected compassion, and redemption touch your heart. Like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support spreads these stories to people who need hope. Now let's begin. My name is Lily Morrison, and 3 months ago, I had a family. A mother. A father. A little brother named Jake who was only 8 years old. We weren't rich. Dad worked construction. Mom cleaned offices at night. But we were happy. Then the accident happened. A car crash on the highway. Dad died instantly. Mom held on for 2 days before her heart gave out. Just like that, Jake and I became orphans. Social services came. A nice woman with tired eyes and too many files. We'll find you a good foster home. Both of you. Together. She lied. They split us up within a week. I went to the Hendersons. A couple who wanted the monthly check more than they wanted kids. Jake went to the Carltons. And that's where everything went wrong. Because the Carltons weren't just foster parents. They were selling children. I found out by accident. Overheard Mrs. Henderson on the phone. The Carltons are moving another kid this week. Some rich family overseas. Pays big money. My blood turned to ice. I knew immediately that they were going to sell Jake. I ran away that night. Took what little money I had. Went to the police. Please, I begged the officer at the desk. The Carltons are selling foster kids. My brother's in danger. He barely looked up. That's a serious accusation. You have proof? I heard Mrs. Henderson talking about it. Hearsay. Can't investigate based on gossip from a runaway kid. He called social services. They came to take me back. I ran again. Spent 2 weeks living on the streets. Trying to figure out how to save Jake. That's when I heard the name. Nikolai Volkov. A homeless man told me. You want something done the cops won't do? Volkov's your man. But be careful, kid. He's dangerous. I didn't care about dangerous. Cared about Jake. So I found out where Volkov lived. A mansion in the suburbs. Guards. Security everywhere. And I walked right up to it. Because when you have nothing left to lose, fear becomes irrelevant. The guard who opened the gate was massive. 7 feet tall. Scarred face. He stared down at me. You're either very brave or very stupid. Probably both, I said. My voice shook but I held my ground. I need to see Mr. Volkov. He doesn't see children. Then I'll wait until he does. I sat down on the wet driveway. The rain soaked through my already damp clothes. The guard watched me for a moment. Then spoke into his radio. 5 minutes later, a car pulled up. A man stepped out. Tall, mid-40s. Dark hair graying at the temples. Expensive suit. Eyes like frozen steel. Nikolai Volkov. You're the child causing problems at my gate? His accent was thick. Russian. Yes, sir. I stood up. Tried to stop shaking. My name is Lily Morrison. I need your help. I don't help children. Go home. I don't have a home. They're going to sell my brother. The police won't listen. You're my last hope. Nikolai studied me. His expression was unreadable. How old are you? 12. And you came to a mafia boss for help. That's either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish. My brother is 8. They're going to sell him to people overseas. I don't care if it's brave or foolish. I care about saving him. Something flickered in Nikolai's eyes. Surprise, maybe? Or curiosity? Come inside. You'll catch pneumonia in this rain. The mansion was enormous. Marble floors. Crystal chandeliers. Art that probably cost more than my parents made in their entire lives. Nikolai led me to a sitting room. A maid brought towels and hot tea. Tell me everything, Nikolai said. His voice was commanding but not unkind. I told him about the accident. About Jake. About the Carltons and what I'd overheard. About the police refusing to help. Nikolai listened without interrupting. When I finished, he asked one question. Why come to me? Because everyone says you're powerful. That you can do things others can't. And because you're the only person I could think of who might actually help. I'm a criminal child. Not a hero. I don't need a hero. I need someone who can save my brother. Nikolai was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone. Made a call in rapid Russian. My people will investigate the Carltons. If what you say is true, we'll handle it. Relief flooded through me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't thank me yet. If you're lying, there will be consequences. Nikolai's men worked fast. Within 24 hours, they had everything. Photos. Bank records. Communications. The Carltons were part of a trafficking ring. 7 families. 32 children sold in the last 2 years. Jake was scheduled to be moved in 3 days. We need to go to the police with this, I said. Nikolai shook his head. The police are involved. Look. He showed me bank transfers. 2 officers. 1 social worker. All receiving payments from the trafficking ring. My stomach turned. Then how do we stop them? We don't go to local police. We go higher. FBI. But first we get your brother out. How? Leave that to me. That night, Nikolai's men raided the Carlton house. It was surgical. Precise. No violence. Just professionals doing a job. They brought Jake to the mansion. He ran to me crying. Lily. I was so scared. They said I was going on a trip. I didn't want to go without you. I held him tight. You're safe now. I promise. Over his shoulder, I saw Nikolai watching. His expression was soft. Almost sad. Like he was remembering something painful. The FBI arrived the next morning. Nikolai had sent them everything. Evidence. Locations. We've been investigating this ring for months, the lead agent, a woman named Special Agent Rodriguez, explained. But we couldn't find enough evidence. This breaks it wide open. What happens to Jake and me? I asked. You'll go into protective custody until the trials are over. Then we'll find you a proper foster placement. Together this time. I looked at Nikolai. He stood by the window. Separate from everything. Thank you, I said to him. He nodded but didn't speak. Over the next week, arrests happened. The Carltons. The other families. The corrupt officers. The social worker. 32 children were recovered. Returned to families or placed in legitimate foster care. Jake and I stayed in a safe house. FBI protection. We should have felt safe. But I couldn't stop thinking about Nikolai. About why a dangerous man would help 2 orphans. Agent Rodriguez told me the truth one afternoon. Nikolai Volkov had a daughter. Anya. She was taken when she was 7. Part of a trafficking ring. He never found her. My chest tightened. What happened? No one knows. He's been searching for 15 years. Built his entire empire partly to have the resources to find her. When you showed up, talking about your brother being sold, I reminded him of her. Yes. The trials took months. But eventually, everyone involved was convicted. Life sentences. The trafficking ring was destroyed. Jake and I were finally free. But social services still didn't have a placement for both of us. The problem is finding a family willing to take siblings, our caseworker explained. Especially older children. It might take time. Time we didn't have. I was 12. Jake was 8. We were aging out of the desirable adoption range. That's when Nikolai made an offer. I'll take them. Both of them. The caseworker stared. Mr. Vol, well, you're a criminal. I'm also a man with resources. A large home. The ability to provide for 2 children. He pulled out documents. I've passed background checks. I have no convictions. My businesses are legitimate. Some of your businesses, the caseworker corrected. The ones that matter for this are legitimate. And I'm willing to do whatever you require. Parenting classes. Home visits. Whatever it takes. Why? The caseworker asked. Why would you want 2 orphans? Nikolai's expression didn't change. But his voice softened slightly. Because someone should. And I can. 3 months of paperwork. Evaluations. Home visits. Background checks. Finally, it was approved. Nikolai became our legal guardian. Moving into the mansion permanently felt surreal. Jake adapted fast. He was 8. Resilient. Excited about his new room and the game systems Nikolai bought. I was more cautious. You don't have to do this, I told Nikolai one evening. I know. Then why are you? Nikolai was quiet for a long moment. When my daughter was taken, I became someone I'm not proud of. Built an empire on anger. On the need to have enough power to find her. To punish those who took her. Did you ever find her? No. 15 years. Every lead goes nowhere. She's just gone. His voice cracked slightly. I can't bring Anya back. But maybe I can make sure what happened to her doesn't destroy 2 more children. I understood then. We weren't replacing his daughter. We were his second chance. His way of honoring her memory. Over the next year, everything changed. Nikolai was strict but fair. He made sure we went to school. Did our homework. Had structure. But he also taught us things. How to be strong. How to protect ourselves. How to trust our instincts. The world is dangerous, he said. I can't shield you from everything. But I can teach you to recognize danger. To handle it. Not everyone was happy about Nikolai taking in orphans. His business associates thought it made him weak. You're going soft, Volkov. One of them, a man named Dmitri, said during a meeting I accidentally overheard. Taking in street kids. What's next? Opening an orphanage? Careful, Dmitri. Those children are under my protection. They're liabilities. Weaknesses. Your enemies will use them against you. Then my enemies will learn what happens when they threaten my family. The word family hit me hard. That's what we'd become. Not just wards. Not just responsibilities. Family. But Dmitri was right about one thing. We did make Nikolai vulnerable. One afternoon, Jake and I were walking home from school. A car pulled up. 2 men got out. You're Volkov's kids? One asked. Jake stepped behind me. I stood my ground. Who's asking? People who want to send your father a message. They grabbed us. Threw us in the car. Jake screamed. I fought. But they were bigger. Stronger. They took us to a warehouse. Tied us to chairs. This isn't about you, one of the men explained. It's about teaching Volkov a lesson. He thinks he can refuse to work with us. This shows him what happens when he says no. I wasn't scared for myself. I was terrified for Jake. He was crying. Shaking. Only 8 years old and already he'd lost his parents and now this. It's okay, I whispered to him. Nikolai will come. I promise. How do you know? Because he promised to protect us. And he keeps his promises. 2 hours passed. The men made phone calls. Demanded things from Nikolai. Territory. Money. Control. I could hear Nikolai's voice through the speaker. Cold. Terrifying. Let the children go. This is between us. The children stay until you agree to our terms. Then you've made a fatal mistake. The call ended. The men laughed. He's bluffing. He'll give us what we want. They were wrong. 30 minutes later, the warehouse doors exploded open. Nikolai entered with 10 men. All armed. All professionals. You have 3 seconds to release my children. 3. 2. The men let us go. We ran to Nikolai. He checked us over quickly. Are you hurt? No, I said. Jake just cried. Nikolai looked at the men who'd taken us. His expression was death itself. You made a mistake. You touched my family. Volkov, we can work this out. No. We can't. What happened next, I didn't see. Nikolai sent us outside with 2 of his guards. But I heard the screams, the gunshots, the silence after. When Nikolai came out, his hands were bloody. But his expression was calm. They won't bother us again. No one will. He drove us home himself. His hands shook slightly on the steering wheel. The only sign of emotion. At home, he made us hot chocolate. Sat us down. I need to explain something. The life I lead. The things I do. They're dangerous. And today proved that being near me puts you at risk. We're not leaving, I said immediately. Lily, we're not leaving. You saved us. You gave us a home. A family. We're not going anywhere just because it's dangerous. I can't guarantee your safety. You can't guarantee our safety anywhere. But here, with you, we have someone who fights for us. Who protects us. That's more than most kids have. Nikolai's eyes were wet. You're braver than most adults I know. I learned from you. From that day forward, Nikolai increased security. Trained us in self-defense. Made sure we knew how to handle danger. But he also showed us something else. Kindness. Real, genuine kindness. Over the next 3 years, Nikolai changed. His business became less violent. More legitimate. He still had power. Still had control. But he used it differently. Why the change? I asked one day. I was 15 now. Old enough to understand his world. You and Jake. Watching you grow up. It reminded me what I'm actually fighting for. Anya. And the person she would have become. She'd be 22 now. Probably kind. Brave. Like you. He paused. I spent 15 years destroying things because I couldn't save her. Maybe it's time I started building things instead. Nikolai opened legitimate businesses. Real estate. Security companies. Tech startups. The illegal empire slowly transformed into something legal. But he also started something else. A foundation. For missing children. We help families search. Fund investigations. Provide resources the police can't or won't. Nikolai explained the mission at the first board meeting. Every child deserves to be found. To be saved. To have someone fight for them. The foundation rescued 43 children in its first year. Brought them home to their families. Each one felt like honoring Anya's memory. Like healing a wound that never fully closed. When I turned 16, Nikolai asked me an unexpected question. Have you thought about what you want to do? College? Career? I want to work for the foundation. Help find missing kids. Nikolai smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. He started training me. Investigation techniques. Research methods. How to talk to frightened families. How to recognize patterns. Jake, now 11, wanted to help too. I want to be like Lily. And like you. Helping people. Nikolai's expression was soft. Proud. Then we'll train you too. Both of you will carry on this work. But not everyone appreciated the foundation's success. We were exposing trafficking rings. Corrupt officials. Dangerous people. One evening, a man came to our door. FBI badge. But his eyes were wrong. Cold. Calculating. Special Agent Williams. I need to speak with Mr. Volkov. Nikolai came to the door. Took one look at the man. You're not FBI. Smart man. The fake agent pulled a gun. There's a price on your head, Volkov. $500,000. For destroying the Kozlov trafficking network. The children you saved came from our operation. You cost us millions. Time to pay. Everything happened fast. Nikolai pushed me and Jake behind him. Run. Back door. Now. We're not leaving you, I said. Lily, please. Protect your brother. The fake agent laughed. Touching. The big bad Volkov cares about orphans. Makes this easier, actually. I'll kill all 3 of you. Send a message. He raised the gun. Aimed at Nikolai. I didn't think. Just moved. Threw myself between them. The gunshot was deafening. I felt the impact. Cut. Chirp. Then nothing. I woke up in the hospital 3 days later. Nikolai sat beside my bed. His face was haggard. He hadn't slept. You're awake. Thank God you're awake. What happened? My voice was rough. You took a bullet meant for me. It hit your shoulder. You almost died. Nikolai's voice broke. You almost died saving me. Where's Jake? Safe. Protected. Surrounded by guards. He took my hand gently. Why did you do it? Why throw yourself in front of that gun? Because you're my father. Not by blood, but by choice. And I protect my family. Tears streamed down Nikolai's face. I don't deserve you. Either of you. Yes, you do. You saved us first. Remember? The fake agent was dead. Nikolai's guards had killed him. But the threat wasn't over. The Kozlov network was huge. Powerful. They wanted revenge. We need to disappear, Nikolai said. Go somewhere safe until this blows over. Or, I said slowly, we finish what we started. We take down the entire Kozlov network. Save every child they've taken. That's too dangerous. Everything we've done has been dangerous. But we've saved 43 children. How many more are out there? How many more Jakes? How many more Anyas? Nikolai stared at me. Then nodded slowly. You're right. We finished this. Over the next 6 months, we worked with the FBI. The real FBI this time. Agent Rodriguez, who'd helped us years ago, led the operation. We provided intelligence, resources, information Nikolai had gathered over 15 years. This is the biggest trafficking takedown in history, Agent Rodriguez said. 7 countries, 42 locations, over 300 children recovered. Is it enough? I asked. Will it stop all trafficking? No, but it's a start. And it's more than anyone else has done. The operation happened on a Tuesday. Coordinated raids across the globe. Press, rescues, justice. 307 children saved. Brought home. Among the rescued children was a girl. 22 years old. Found in Eastern Europe. She'd been held for 15 years. Nikolai got the call late one night. Mr. Volkov, we need you to come to the FBI office. There's someone who might be, we need you to see. We drove there together. Me, Jake, and Nikolai. Agent Rodriguez met us at the entrance. She has no memory of her real name. No memory of her family. 15 years of captivity erased almost everything. But, Nikolai's voice shook. But she has a birthmark. Crescent-shaped. On her left shoulder. Does that mean anything to you? Nikolai's legs nearly gave out. Anya, my daughter has that birthmark. They brought her out. A young woman. Thin. Scarred. But alive. Her eyes met Nikolai's. No recognition. Just confusion. Do I know you? She asked in broken English. Nikolai approached slowly. Like she might disappear if he moved too fast. My name is Nikolai Volkov. 22 years ago, I had a daughter. Her name was Anya. She was taken from me when she was 7. I don't remember being 7. I don't remember anything before the rooms. The locks. Anya's voice was hollow. But sometimes I dream about a man. With kind eyes. He calls me his little star. In Russian. Moya zvezdaka. Nikolai broke. Completely. Fell to his knees. Sobbing. That's what I called you. My little star. Because you were the brightest thing in my world. Anya stared at him. Tears forming in her eyes. You're real? The man in my dreams is real. Yes. I'm real. I'm your father. And I've been searching for you every day for 15 years. Slowly, Anya knelt down. Touched his face. I don't remember you. But something inside me knows you. They held each other. 2 broken people. Finally reunited. Jake and I stood back. Watching. We found her, Jake whispered. Because you refused to give up. Because you begged Nikolai for help all those years ago. I looked at my brother. Because he taught us that saving one person can change the world. Anya's recovery took time. Therapy. Patience. She moved into the mansion. Slowly rebuilding her life. Slowly remembering fragments of her childhood. I remember a garden, she said one day. With roses. And a swing. Our old house, Nikolai said softly. Before. You loved that swing. Did I have a mother? This. She died when you were 5. Offensive. It was just you and me after that. Watching Anya and Nikolai rebuild their relationship was beautiful. Painful. Complex. She wasn't the 7-year-old he'd lost. He wasn't the father she remembered. But they found new ways to connect. New ways to be family. You saved me, Anya told me one afternoon. We were in the garden. The one Nikolai had rebuilt. With roses. And a swing. Not just me. The foundation. The work you all did. Nikolai saved us first, I said. Then we helped save you. That's how family works. Family. Anya tested the word. I like that. I have a father. And 2 siblings. And a home. She paused. For 15 years, I thought I'd die in those rooms. Alone. Forgotten. But you all refused to forget. Refused to stop searching. Because you mattered. Every missing child matters. Over the next year, Anya joined the foundation. Used her experience to help other survivors. To train investigators. To give hope to families. If I can be found after 15 years, she told one mother whose daughter had been missing for 3 years, your daughter can be found too. Don't give up. The foundation grew. More resources. More saves. More families reunited. When I turned 18, Nikolai called a family meeting. I have an announcement. I'm stepping back from day-to-day operations. Of everything. The businesses. The foundation. All of it. Why? Jake asked. He was 13 now. So, confident. Because I'm 62 years old. I've spent 40 years building empires. Fighting. Searching. It's time I actually lived. Nikolai looked at each of us. Lily, you're 18. Brilliant. Capable. I'm making you director of the foundation. Nikolai, I don't. Yes, you do. You've been running most of it for 2 years anyway. Make it official. He turned to Anya. You'll be associate director. Your experience. Your perspective. It's invaluable. Finally, think. You're 13. Still in school. But when you're ready, there's a place for you too. This is our family's legacy. Saving those who can't save themselves. I looked at this man. This dangerous, complicated, surprisingly gentle man who'd changed all our lives. What will you do? If you're stepping back? Spend time with my family. My 3 children. Make up for lost years. Just be a father. You already are, I said. The best one I could have asked for. The next 5 years transformed everything. The foundation saved over 1,000 children. Exposed dozens of trafficking rings. Changed laws. Protected families. Anya bloomed. Regained memories. Rebuilt herself into someone strong. Confident. Jake grew into a young man. Smart. Compassionate. Dedicated to the mission. And Nikolai. He finally found peace. Not through power. Not through revenge. Through family. Through choosing to build instead of destroy. One evening, we all sat in the garden. The roses were in full bloom. Anya pushed herself on the swing, laughing. Jake was studying case files, already preparing for college. Nikolai sat beside me on the bench. Do you remember that night? He asked. When you showed up at my gate in the rain? Every detail. I was terrified. So was I. Not of you. Of myself. Of what kind of man had become so hardened that a desperate child was his wake-up call. Nikolai smiled. But you didn't care about what I was. You cared about what I could do. You saved my brother. You saved me. You saved hundreds of children. Including your own daughter. No. Nikolai's voice was firm. You saved me first. You reminded me why I started searching. What I was actually fighting for. You gave me back my purpose. The doorbell rang. Unusual. We had security. Guards. No one just showed up. One of the guards appeared. There's a girl at the gate. Maybe 10 years old. Alone. In the rain. She says she needs help. Says someone told her Nikolai Volkov helps children. My heart stopped. I looked at Nikolai. He was already standing. Let her in. Immediately. We rushed to the entrance. A small girl stood there. Soaking wet. Shaking. Terrified but determined. Please, she said. My sister is missing. The police say she ran away. But I know she didn't. Someone took her. I need help. Nikolai knelt down to her level. What's your name? Sophia. Sophia Ramirez. I'm 10. My sister is 12. Her name is Carmen. And you came here because? A homeless man told me. He said Mr. Volkov saved his grandson. That you help children when no one else will. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Please. I don't have anyone else. Nikolai looked at me. I nodded. This was our purpose. Our calling. Our legacy. Sophia, I promise you. We will find your sister. We will bring her home. And we will make sure whoever took her faces justice. Relief flooded Sophia's face. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we brought Sophia inside, I thought about that night 5 years ago. When I stood at these same gates. Desperate. Alone. Begging for help. Finding Carmen took 3 weeks. But we did it. She'd been taken by a trafficking ring operating out of a fake modeling agency. We rescued her and 17 other girls. Sophia and Carmen were reunited. Their tears. Their relief. Their joy. It reminded me why we did this. What happens to us now? Sophia asked. Our parents are dead. We don't have family. Nikolai smiled. You have options. Foster care. Adoption. We'll make sure you stay together. And we'll make sure you go somewhere safe. Somewhere good. Or, Anya said quietly, they could stay here. With us. If they want. Nikolai looked at her. Surprised. You want to take them in? Why not? You took in Lily and Jake. They turned out pretty great. Anya smiled. This house is huge. Our family is strong. And these girls need what we all needed. A second chance. Sophia and Carmen stared at us. Hope and fear fighting in their expressions. You'd let us stay? Carmen asked. Here? With you? If you want, I said. We know what it's like. To lose everything. To be alone. To need help. We can give you what we were given. A home. A family. A future. And just like that, our family grew again. Over the next decade, the pattern continued. Children came to our gates. Desperate. Alone. Needing help. We never turned anyone away. Some stayed a few days. Some weeks. Some, like Sophia and Carmen, stayed permanently. The mansion became a refuge. A safe house. A place where broken children could heal. Nikolai, now in his 70s, spent his days teaching them. Training them. Loving them. I spent 40 years trying to save one child. My Anya. He told me one evening. But in the process, I've helped save thousands. That's what you taught me, Lily. That saving one person can create a ripple effect that changes the world. You taught me that, I corrected. You saved me. I saved Jake. Together we saved Anya. And now we save others. That's how it works. The foundation became internationally recognized. Governments consulted us. Law enforcement partnered with us. We trained investigators worldwide. Jake, now 23, ran the technology division. Tracking. Data analysis. Finding digital trails others missed. Anya ran survivor support. Using her experience to help others heal. And I coordinated operations. Every rescue. Every investigation. Every child brought home. Sophia and Carmen, now young adults, joined us too. We want to help, Sophia said. Want to be part of this family's mission. When Nikolai turned 75, we threw him a party. Not the kind of party he used to have. No business associates. No power plays. Just family. 53 children. All the ones we'd taken in over the years. All the ones who'd stayed. Who'd become part of our extended family. Look at what you built, I told him. An empire? He asked with a smile. A family. A real one. Built on love instead of fear. On saving instead of destroying. Nikolai looked around the room. At all these children. Teenagers. Young adults. All laughing. Talking. You know what's funny? He said. I spent 15 years building a criminal empire. Trying to have enough power to find my daughter. But I found her through losing that power. through helping two orphans who needed something only I could give. What's that? A second chance. You gave me a second chance to be the father I should have been. To be the man my daughter would be proud of. She is proud of you. We all are. That night, as the party wound down, the doorbell rang. Another child. A boy. Maybe 8 years old. Alone. Please, he said. I heard Mr. Volkov helps children. My mom is sick. We don't have money for medicine. I don't know what to do. Nikolai walked to the door. This 75-year-old former crime lord looked at this desperate child and smiled. Come inside. Tell me about your mother. We'll figure this out together. As the boy entered, I stood with Jake, Anya, Sophia, and Carmen. Our family. Our mission. Our purpose. It never ends, does it? Jake said. Children needing help. No, I replied. But that's okay. Because we never stop helping. I thought about that 12-year-old girl. Standing in the rain. Ringing a dangerous man's bell. Begging for help. I thought about how one act of courage, one desperate plea, changed everything. Changed me. Changed Jake. Changed Nikolai. Changed Anya. Changed hundreds of children. Because that's the truth about asking for help. About being brave enough to seek it from unlikely places. Sometimes the most dangerous people are capable of the most unexpected mercy. Sometimes the hardest hearts can be softened by the smallest hands. And sometimes, all it takes to change the world is one orphan girl. One rainy night. One impossible request. And one man willing to say yes. Nikolai caught my eye from across the room. Mouthed 2 words. Thank you. I mouthed back, oh, thank you. Because we saved each other. And in doing so, we learned to save others. That's the legacy. Not power. Not money. Not fear. But the simple act of helping those who need it most. One child at a time. One family at a time. One second chance at a time. The end. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to this channel. Share it with someone who needs to remember that help can come from unexpected places. Because everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves to be saved. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is ask for help from the most unlikely person. Your support spreads stories of courage, redemption, and the power of choosing compassion over cruelty.